about how to insert the form data into MongoDB by using a REST API. Now we are going to discuss about how to we are get the data and display in a table format. Okay. So let us we will discuss about how to we are going to create a table format and how to get the data, how to map the data. These things we are discussing in this particular video. So in app.js, uh, so in components we are created already student profile. In student profile, new students will be inserted easily. Now we need to get the data of the new students. So we create a new student format. That is nothing but a student table. So this is the component. So in this particular component, I would like to create a component. How to create a component? RAFC press enter. So student table will be created. Now in this student table, so what is the main important thing is we need to design a screen. So what is the screen we need to design it? Here we need to design a screen of table. How to design a screen of the table we will discuss it. So we are already used the material UI. In this particular material UI, we are going to use the tab. Tab is nothing but a component which is represent as a separate representation of not a table. It is a layout. Next, so on the paper, I would like to create a table container. So I would like to create a table container from material UI. So this table container, I would like to create a table. So it is a material UI. So each and everything whether I would like to add, it's the same thing added in the header. So remember that if you are not added, it will be causes the error missing table head. Okay. Next, table head. Next, table row. So table row not added. So add it. Next, table cell. So this is the table cell which I will provide. So if you want to display the table cell, what are the actual in model we require to know. So in table cell, what are the things are there? Student ID is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Student cell is there. Student ID is there. First name is there, and last name is there. Next, email is there. Next, phone. But I would like to create another two cells. One is for date, next one is delete. Okay, so update and delete are nothing but buttons. Whether you click the delete by using the ID, that particular row ID2, it will be deleted. That particular row ID2, we need to update. So these two things are we required to do. So before that, this particular table we need to fill it. First of all, you need to call this particular student table into your app.js. So student table component export into the app.js. So now student profile, already we are getting the data, we are inserting the data by using a student profile. Now we require to use the student table we need to display the data. So in this case, we are required to fetch the data from the Axios or fetch the data from the API. So how to fetch the data from the Axios means let us check it. So we are already have a API. So how to get the data? Get all the data. We have a student controller. So get students. So this get students. We are go to the student router. Get all students. So that is nothing but a all students. So before that in app.js, what is the API we are calling? Localhost colon localhost colon 5000 slash API slash students slash get students. So that is our controller. Get students, all students. So this URL once you call it, so what is the data you have it in the particular database? Okay, so there is a double backslashes are there. Okay, now we got the data from what is the data we have this only. So now what is our requirement means student ID as a column name and first name is a column name, last name is a column name, email is a column name and phone number is a column name. So these column names to use it to we are display the data in the table format. Okay, so we need to run this particular program first of all, then only we know npm start. We know the what is the problems are there. So don't run in a PowerShell, please run in a command prompt. Npm start actually, not npm run start. Npm start. Okay, let us check the output whether we created the table header will be displayed or not. Let us check it. Okay, or otherwise in case any errors are there it will be displayed. Yes, table cell is not found. Why? Because we are not added the table cells here. So just control the space and added the table cell. Okay, build successfully. See, form is there. Now we submitted the form. This kind of data it will be displayed on this particular table. Okay, so here we are getting the table row with the column names. Now let us check with how to fetch the data. So if we want to post the data, fetch the data, we are using the Axios. So we need to install the, we are already installed the Axios, but we need to import the Axios. Okay, so just type the Axios, it will be add the Axios. Now here, if you are getting the Axios, that particular Axios data we need to store into the array. So how to store the array? So let us check it. So we need to create a one array item. It is nothing but a students get students set students equals to use state. It is from the React component. In this particular state I would like to represent the empty braces, that is square brackets, that is nothing but a array. So this is the representation of array. Now we are going to use the this particular array to we need to store the data. How to store the data? So we need to create a one function. That function which is represents the how to get the data from the URL. So constant fetch data equals to, so it is a async function. Why? Because we are calling outside of the URL. Next, so very important thing is don't leave it as a without try block, catch block. We don't write it anything. So console.log error fetching data, comma, error. Now it is try. So try to fetch the data. So how to try to fetch the data? So there is a simple method in from the Axios how to fetch the data. Okay. So how to fetch the data? Simply create a one response equals to await. Why? Because we are writing async. So asynchronous operations we need to use the await. Axios dot space, should maintain the space, Axios dot get. So previously we are using the post. So here we are required to paste the URL. So what is the URL here? So this is the URL. So same URL you can use the, but you need to write http colon slash slash. Now you are getting the response. This particular response I would like to add to the your data structure. So what is the data structure? Set students response. What is the response? Got it done. Now, so every time it will be updated, table will be updated. Every time we need to be response dot data. So in this particular response dot data, we are going to store it. But every time we are going to update it to this particular function, what will happen? We need to update it into the table. So in this particular case, we are using the another hook is called use effect. So in this use effect, there are two components. One component is called we call the our function. So how to call the function? Fetch the data. Fetch data. Okay. But here we are stored into the as a array. So here we are using the use state for storing the data. Fetch data is nothing but whenever you are changes made by the table, whenever changes made by the array. So in the particular array, whenever changes are happening, at particular time it will be automatically fetch the data and stored into the table. Now the major operation is nothing but how to display this particular data structure data into the table. Now after table header, we need to create a table body. Table body. So in this particular table body, I would like to add the arrays, yeah, add the rows each and every time for each group to store the data and into the columns. So what are the columns we are already designed. Okay. Now, so what is the structure? State students dot. Here not working any for loop and while loop and these kind of loops. Here we can use the map functionality. Here we created a internal arrow function. In map functionality, we need to pass the two things. One is nothing but a content, comma, index. content comma index. So in previously in class we are discussed about how to pass the component property as a array, that array to how to render and display the table we are discussing in the class. But here the the different APIs we are using to fetch the data, that's why both are different. There is no correlation between the one component to another component. Okay. Now, so in this particular case we need to create a table. So please remember, if you are display the particular data, you need to return keyword must ensure. In this particular return, you need to create a table row. So how to table row will be display? Table row will be display for each ID. It will be so key is nothing but a key is nothing but a your index. So that means array consists the indexing value. So 0 to n minus 1. So that 0 to n minus 1 times it will be repeatedly display data in the format of table. So in the table row it will be generated. Now table cell, table cell. So in the table cell the content will be displayed. So what is the content here? So this one is the content. Content dot, what is the name we need to display? First of all, student ID. Okay, so how many fields are there? 1 2 3 4 5. Right. Student ID and first name and last name, email and phone number. And lastly, we need to display the two buttons. Okay, so here we need to remove the this particular phone and email. Sorry, email and phone. And here in this particular place we would like to require to create a button. So how to create a button. So the button color is primary, secondary, danger, whatever it may be. So this button is nothing but first one is update. Okay, so the button color is nothing but a see inherit primary. So what are the properties we have? Inherit primary, secondary, success, error, info. So let us check it with the info what color it will be displayed. Next button is delete. Okay, I would like to use danger. So let us check with the, so see here data will be displayed in a table, update will be displayed and delete will be displayed, but color will not be updated. Let us check with the colors. Warning, no danger is there, and info is there, inherit is there, secondary is there. What will happen? Secondary warning. Now see info and delete. Okay, so you need to display the table variant contain. Let us check. Yes. Now button will be displayed properly. Next, next. So what will happen? Delete will be displayed properly. So what are the things you want to display. So as a table. Now let us check student ID is S1, first name is test, first name is test at the rate gmail. Okay. Next add students. Okay. So whether it is inserted or not, let us check. Whether it is inserted or not, check once again. Okay. So I will check and I will provide the solution for next video. In this particular video, we will discuss how to fetch the data only. Next video, we will discuss about this problem solution and update and delete also we need to